Friends, I think we'll start now. Please drop down a message in WhatsApp group, everyone to join. And sir, I'll take your minute or a 2 minute to for the introduction, if you don't mind.
Dr. Megha,
Yes, sir.
that presentation I'll share or you will,
Sir, as per your convenience, sir. If you want me to share, I'll share.
because I want to share from my side, but they are showing.
But
I,
sir, now please check. Can you?
okay, okay.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone, and I'm taking this pride to introduce Dr. Habibur Rahman sir. He is currently holding a position of regional representative for South Asia International Livestock Research Institute, New Delhi, and he is specialization in veterinary microbiology and public health. He did postdoctoral training from Robert Koch Institute, Germany, and University of Utah, USA. Earlier, he holds a position of DG ICAR, National Institute of Veterinary Epidemiology and Disease Informatives, Bangalore, and Joint Director ICAR Research Complex for NEH region, Gangtok, and Head of the Division Veterinary Public Health, Indian Veterinary Research Institute, Bareilly, and ICR Research Complex for NEH region, Ceylon. He also worked as a visiting scientist at Robert Koch Institute, Germany. He has guided many students for PhD in microbiology and biotechnology. He is the recipient of many awards and honors, and he has published his a number of publications in reputed international and national journals. He has a book published, and there are a number of book chapters on his name, and he has handled many national and international funded projects. Without taking much of his time, on behalf of Srishti, I am welcoming you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Megha, for your kind introduction.
Sir, you don't think doesn't require any introduction. This just for student.
It is not like that because you have invited me. I am very thankful because basically, initially, I was also a university professor. So I like to talk to the students and particularly those are in the professional line. First of all, I thank the organizer as well as Dr. Megha for initiating so good initiative for the giving the grassroots innovation or something in the professional line for the undergraduate as well as other students join there. You have sent the list of the participants. I could see that about 68 uh, rather than 67 because one name was repeated, the Hina Banu. And it is, I'm very surprised and I'm very pleased that majority of the students are female. At least 50% are female, 50% are more male. And most of them are from the biotechnology discipline. Many are also from the life science. And I could see few people are also from, whether they have joined or not, I don't know. They are from the agriculture discipline also, medical discipline. And above all, I could see some of your organizer also joined here. Uh, Megha, I could not share my presentation, if you can share from
Yes.
your side.
Okay, sir. Is it visible,
Yeah,
students?
it's
Okay, sir.
Mega. You can make it full screen.
Uh, yes, sir. This is Google slide. Is it okay, sir?
Ah, yes, fine, fine. Thank you, thank you. Dear students, friends, I have been requested to give a talk on my struggle in life, research lead and struggle, and success stories while pursuing a science career. As Megha has already mentioned, I am a veterinarian, veterinary microbiologist, and somehow I could not see any participants in the list that Dr. Megha has shared with us. No veterinary or animal science students are there. First of all, I just want to tell you the ILRI. ILRI means International Livestock Research Institute. And my position is a regional representative for South Asia. You may be, some may be thinking, what is this type of regional representative? Basically, my position is the regional director for South Asia. But for your information, I am just representing DG ILRI or DG uh, International Livestock Research Institution. I need not to take any permission from him. Whatever the possible, I have to take decision in this region. That's why this position also we sometimes called as a regional representative. And ILRI is one of the 15 CGIR. CGIR means a consultative group on international agricultural research. Next, please, Megha. This is a brief. Generally, when we start any presentation, as per the norms of ILRI, we generally introduce our organization, where we are working and what for we are working. That, as I mentioned, the CGIR, one of the CGIR centers. There are 15 CGIR centers. Some of you might be knowing some of these CG centers like ICRISAT. ICRISAT headquarters is in India only, and but the ILRI is hosted by two African nations, Ethiopia and Kenya, and headquarters of ILRI at Nairobi, and the main campus at Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. Besides that, we have 14 other regional or country office in India, Asia, Africa, and some other countries we have. But if you can see here that where we are working. We are working in 38 countries. And as for your information, the CGIR particularly work for the developing country, poor country, and our basic objective to reduce the poverty, provide improved nutrition, food and nutrition, and sustainable agriculture or animal husbandry, whatever we are saying. Presently, we have about 700, 700 permanent. I'm not talking about the RAJRA research fellow, that these are the permanent staff. For example, in Delhi also, I'm based in Delhi and looking after the South Asia. And we have also many scientists, many that most of them are not permanent. That's why we have not included. And another things we always look for as an international organization, we give the gender equity. If you can see that 40% of the employee or staff are female and 60% is male, and we are trying to get it at least 50-50. If you see the staff, I have not shown you here. In Delhi, it is more than 60% is female and 40% we are male. Now there is one question, not question, just for your information, my children, particularly students, that what is South Asia? South Asia is a group of country. That means we are South Asia. This South Asia includes 8 countries: India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Maldives. These 8 countries were under the South Asia. But as I mentioned, the ILRI is working different areas: Southeast Asia, East Asia, West Asia, and most of the places you can see here the African countries, because African countries are the most poor country. Next, please. This is just to remind you we are passing through a very critical situation, not in India, globally, and particularly if you can see the second phase of corona epidemic, and mostly infected in India. If you can see, the whole India is infected. Most of the world is infected like that. And for your information, just this is for your information, because we want to start something to relax, because I don't know how can I describe everything, and it is very difficult for me to describe my success stories, this failure, etc. Before that, just to relax something and the present situation in the world. You can see here that first phase we never closed 1 lakh cases, but suddenly in the second phase, that number cases gone up to more than 4 lakhs per day. And today also it is more than 2.5 lakhs cases. You can imagine how much intensity of the infection in India, particularly from 4 lakh, it has come down to 2.5, but it is still very high, and it is the highest number in the world we are recording. And another thing, most difficult is that number of death is not decreasing much. Always it is 4,000, more than 4,000, etc. As you know that this is a viral disease, and there is no specific treatment for viral diseases. Only solution is the vaccine. That's I request all of you particularly to take the vaccine, and we can save. And we have also cooperated with the government of India, government of Delhi, because I'm based in Delhi and most of you are different parts of the country. So you have to follow the guidelines issued by the state government, government of India, uh, to support the government for to reduce the number or the conquer that disease. This is my request to all of you, and we have to be very careful while going, because you are very young. Many times अरे क्या होगा, that type of thing you should not take, because this time you have seen, uh, if one person is infected in a family, all are infected. That's why this is very serious. And every day 4 lakh cases, how government can provide the facilities for all of them? That is my request to all of. Next please. This because I see most of the students or most of the participants are from the biotechnology. And for your information also, my daughter, she did PhD in biotechnology. Of course, she is not now in India. She is in US doing that. This is for your quiz type. Many times we are asking general question to public that by eating a genetically modified fruits or any modified GMO we call, it may be fruit, it may be vegetable, it may be anything. A person's genes could also be changed. That is up to you. You can decide. And this survey was done in the most of the developed countries. You can see Canada, US, Austria, Germany, Netherlands, Switzerland, United Kingdom. These were the responses from that. I want to know your response whether a person eating some modified GMO, their gene can also be changed. That the Mega and the organizer may ask what is your response. Next, please, Mega. This is because it is very difficult to describe oneself, because we never describe this, I am these, but the organizer has given me an opportunity to tell you what is I am and what my position, what I am doing, and what are my difficulties in my career, and so many other things. If you see that, as Dr. Megha has already mentioned, I am a veterinarian, BVHC. Many of you may not know what is the Bachelor of Veterinary Science and Animal Husbandry. I am native of Assam and did my the graduation from Assam Agriculture University. I was also the gold medalist from that, and my master's and PhD also from two renowned agriculture university, Punjab Agriculture University in veterinary microbiology, and PhD from GB Pant University. You might be knowing GB Pant University is the first agriculture university in India, established in 1996, and it is one of the largest on agriculture university in the world. And both my education, I was the recipient for ICR junior as well as senior research fellowship. And during my career, I also did postdoc training in two renowned institutions. Robert Koch Institution, it might be knowing because some microbiology students are also there. Robert Koch is the father of bacteriological technology. And during my graduation, I was very much fascinated for that institutions. And I got a chance or a scholarship from that institutions and did my postdoc. Another institutions I did my postdoc, that is University of Utah, Salt Lake City, US, that is was nanobiotechnology. And in that was a very prestigious as well as ambitious program we have taken. Most of you know that bacteria is having one or appendage we call for locomotive for the bacteria, that is flagella. We want to develop the flagellar vaccine, and one flagella we want to include at least 15 different type of antigens so that the vaccine can that a single vaccine can protect the animal or human being for 15 diseases. For example, COVID, now we are also developing some vaccines like that. Next, please, Mega. This is my positions are employed. that I started my life as a lecturer in Assam Agriculture University, and after that, the assistant professor promotion and the associate. And for your information, that this was about more than 15 years in the university life. I was associate professor and I was also associate dean. I'll come later on that in second veterinary college established in Assam in a very remote places like that. In that way, and after that I left Assam Agriculture University, joined Indian Council of Agriculture or Research Organization. As you know, that is one of the largest, not one of the Indian Council of Agriculture Research is the largest NARS system, National Agriculture Research System in the world. And I joined at Meghalaya, Shillong. Then I promoted as head of the division that at Indian Veterinary Research Institute. Many of you might be knowing that particularly those are from the Uttar Pradesh, that is based, this located in Bareilly, Jatnagar. And for information, Veterinary Research Institution is known as the Makkah for veterinary education because it was established the first institution by this British government 1889. And after that, again, I came back to Northeastern region, Sikkim, as joint director. As you know, that Sikkim is the second smallest state in the country, but that state has many unique, this most clean, most green, most hygienic state in the country, and they received so many awards from government of India. After that, I became the director, National Institute of Veterinary Epidemiology and Disease Informatics. Dr. Swati Sahe, that Mega, she is working
Yeah,
with
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
I'm here only, sir.
yeah, yeah, and she is our
Good morning,
product from
sir.
that institutions, and that was my challenge, and I built that institution, new building. It has I developed that institute such a way that many international organization and it got. And after that, the Deputy Director General of Animal Science at Indian Council of Agricultural Research. This is the highest position in Animal Science Division. This is with the grace of God, the good wishes from all my seniors, my teachers, and my particularly students. I reached that position also because in ICR, the animal science, crop science, horticulture, these are fishery sciences, these are the positions that is the highest position of that branches. And after that, we have another position that is DG ICR or Director General ICR. That position is open to all. That's why we used to say that this is the highest position. I used to look after the whole country animal science research, and I also looked after the 19 animal science institutions and 15 veterinary university in the country. And after that, you know that again I left Indian Council of Agricultural Research and joined an international organization, and that is International Livestock Research Institution. But I'm looking after the South Asia, and I'm based in New Delhi. This is my career and developing this. You can say these are the situation. Whole life you have to pass one or other way. That means I have changed to organization and then now presently on international organization. Thank you. Uh, Mega, next please. Some of my other activities, I used to generally engaged in student guiding. I have guided about 21 PG students. They are also from veterinary science. veterinary public health, MSc, because many students are also from the biotechnology, MPhil, like that. And I have guided about 12 students on the veterinary microbiology and 6 students from veterinary microbiology and 6 students from biotechnology. And for the research activities, particularly, just I want to mention you as PI. PI means principal investigator. I completed, these are all externally funded projects, 25 projects, and as coordinator, and mostly they are all India coordinated research project, AICRP, and DBT, several DBT program, network program, that was a DBT brucellosis, the big project, Pan India program, where Swati also worked, and ADMEC, that is also a DBT program, National Agriculture Innovation Project, the World Bank project, that many project I don't like to mention you because that is also that I authored, Dr. Mega has already mentioned, and I published a good number of very good journals, about 286 publications. I organized so many international training programs, CDC, you know that Center for Disease Control and Prevention, US, and we also got several big projects, USDA program, FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, IRDC from Canada, and another achievement in my life, we have submitted for about 7 patent, and we got uh, some of them. I'll come later on. Next, please. Because the life of all scientists or anybody, if that is never been smooth, we have to pass through many challenges, many success, many failures like that. But that's, I want to start with the Thomas Alva Edison's quote: 1% inspiration, 90% perspiration. Whatever we are telling, what your teachers telling, you are getting advice and other thing, that is will work as 1%. But you have to be involved, you have to be hard work, you have to do sincerely, punctually, then it you will become very success. And here also, just I have mentioned, world's most celebrated minds are also never had easy or obvious path. For example, you can say Madam and Peri Curie, even our Dr. APJ Abul Kalam, how many difficulties he has faced. All the inventor, all the discovery, Albert Einstein, then Alexander Fleming, because I'm just mentioning here because that is related to my profession, the antibiotic, the penicillin development. And my request to all of you, you may be very smart, very intelligent, but true success only comes from hard work and perseverance. That is the thing that I want to mention here. Next, please. This is just I'm coming. This my profession, my challenge, success, and other thing how I faced and how we managed. BBSc and H I just mentioned. My degree was that, but at the time of getting admission and it how it is happened, I do not know. And like many of you, I was never knew that there is a 5 years course for veterinary science and animal husbandry. Basically, we are a family from engineer. By my maternal uncle, I have seen that he used to come to home with a car, and my 2 cousins, that many family members are engineers. And unconsciously, I thought that I'll also become a engineer. But the man proposes, God disposes, as you know. And same thing happened to me. I got selected in engineering, but that time my 2 cousins, engineer, they were unemployed for 2 years, 3 years, because those days 1980s, only the government job was the source of employment. Other there was nothing else. So somehow my elders and my cousin they told that veterinary profession is a good profession, but I was not knowing that the veterinary course is a 5 years course and it's so big institution is also that too located in Guwahati. Then anyway, I got admitted, and he suggested that after passing, you will get the job immediately. There is a lot of chances to going abroad. People are mostly going abroad for education like that. But frankly speaking, I was not very happy with that profession because my colleague that time that my classmates and other they are getting admission in engineer. That field was continuing for long, but I never neglect my education. I may be unhappy with the profession, but I never neglect my study or anything. And for your information, just to inform you, all 5 years I was topper and I got the gold medal also. But the third year we got this on subject microbiology. But as a whole, veterinary science is so fantastic, so many things you can learn that different because for example medical students are also here they are doing only one species physiology for human being anatomy everything for human being but here we have to do for the cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat, camel, so many other animals, and very fascinating, very knowledge you can gather. Microbiology, parasitology, surgery, gynecology, medicine, all those subjects. But in third year, I got subject microbiology because I was very much interested in chemistry, biochemistry as well as microbiology, and I used to read lot many about the history of microbiology. The Robert Koch, Louis Pasteur, the Edward Salmon, then Alexander Fleming, and so and so forth. And I could see that most of the scientists working in veterinary the microbiology as a whole either they're from veterinary professions or from they're working basically on the animal diseases. For example, Robert Koch, anthrax he worked, the Pasteur he worked on the pasteurolysase, and he also worked on the rabies in that way. That from that time onward, I developed uh, this thing that I will also become a microbiologist or scientist. I will not go to the uh, field conditions. But as my senior or my cousins, they told before passing BBSC, the result has not given out that, but we got the appointment. But the appointment or the place of appointment was so remote that on place called Azad in just you don't remember all those things, but just I'm telling that remote place in North Lakhimpur district, and that place is Azad, and I was not very much interested. In the meantime, I received the junior research fellowship from ICR, and I was topper in the country. So my family and other they told me that you should go for higher study, and I was also in mind that I'll become a scientist like that. Then I got my admission in Punjab Agriculture University, as I mentioned, that one of the lively university in the country, and my program was given on thesis program on Mycoplasma mastitis. Before me, nobody worked on Mycoplasma mastitis. Mastitis, you might be knowing that mastitis means the inflammation of the mammary gland. But we are working on the cattle buffalo mastitis and that. And Mycoplasma is organism very fastidious. They required a special requirement for the isolation. because they this is the organism without cell wall. And for the first 3 months, I could not isolate the organism because I was a student of the head of the division and he could not give much time. But I used to tell, sir, I'm facing this problem, that problem. And one day he told me, Dr. Rahman, if you want, we can change the program also. But as you know that I was topper in the university, I was topper in that university also, I was topper. I was feeling little hesitation. Then I talked to my teachers and others and initiated the work afresh. And for your information, then it is coming mycoplasma, I could isolate that. And from that, my first paper uh, came out on mycoplasma mastitis from India. That was the first publication, and it was published in a foreign journal with high impact. That was the because I could not because initially I thought what to do, but because my perseverance, my continuity, the success. And during my PhD also, I faced a little program also. The salmonella enterotoxin, as you know, toxin. These are the toxin producing the diarrhea. That is very other toxins are cholera toxin, E. coli toxins. They are diarrhea producing that. Then my program was purification and characterization of the STN, Salmonella enterotoxin. And those days, Pantnagar University has one of the best microbiology department with many facilities. I did that. And before my other PhD work, many scientists globally, particularly UK group and some other Australian group, they said that the salmonella enterotoxin is related to, or the immunological is related to cholera toxins and or E. coli toxin. But in my finding, I found that they are not at all immunologically related, and it is totally different. Then what my advisory committee is a big committee, big people. They told that Dr. Rahman, you have to repeat because you're. Well, no, sir, I have did my work, purified the toxins, and they convinced after that, and I published, and that paper came as a novel toxin. Enterotoxin is a novel toxin. It has nothing to do with the cholera toxins or that. That was another success in my PhD thesis, and it was really very helpful and encouraged me on that basis. And the American group from Boston Medical College, they also invited me to go there and work for that. But in the meantime, I got a fellowship from Robert Koch Institution. As I mentioned, Robert Koch Institution was my favorite institution. I went there for a postdoc. Next, please. The challenge in service life, the posting in a remote place. After doing so good work in PhD, and that time government of Assam started a second veterinary college, that is another the same place where my first appointment was as a veterinary officer, that is the Lakhimpur. And they have transferred me from Pantnagar directly to that institutions. I need not to join at Khanapara. I was very much annoyed, agitated, and I have given so many complaints because of my this work. I want to continue, and the place where you are placing me, there is no microbiology laboratory at all. For information, no facilities, nothing. But as you know, when we join somewhere, and they told me that you go there, you establish the microbiology department, and you will be the head of the department. And honor for my teacher, very uh, respectable teacher from Assam Agricultural Science University. He told that, Dr. Rahman, wherever you go, you should be as a head, not as the tail. Then after that, I left anything. I joined that university. I become that veterinary college, but that is again that remote place. And I want to show you that I have started the microbiology laboratory in a pressure cooker that I took from my home, and that home and started like that. And later on, that laboratory was recognized by European Union. As for your information, just the European Union, they have started a program in India, the National Program on Rinderpest Eradication. Because you know that there are two diseases in the world, they are eradicated completely. One animal disease is rinderpest, another the human disease is smallpox. And in that, they have also started a program on eradication of contagious pleuropneumonia caused by, again, mycoplasma. And the team came from FAO and other, and they have selected me for a training at Pasteur Institute, Paris, because as you know that I'm very much fascinated for Robert Koch, Louis Pasteur, and I was very much happy and excited to go there. But as you know that something happened, that politics also there. And after that expert group told me, Dr. Rahman, you get ready for within 2 months. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, there is no reply. And the government of Assam Agricultural University, they are not doing. Then expert team came again and asked what happened. Well, you ask your government. Because what they did, they replaced my name with another person. And the expert group told that, fine, we cannot take Dr. Rahman, that we are not taking. That training was itself cancelled. But by the God grace, the same time in the remote place only, because of recognizing my Salmonella work, I got the fellowship from Robert Koch Institution, Berlin, and they invited for me. In the same time, I also got the Biotech Overseas Fellowship. These are the things we should not be disheartened. And one thing is going and 10 field is opening. Next, please. And among these success stories, because that was my most and appreciate everybody, and probably because of my work, the building a new institution, Nivedi at Bangalore. Swati Sahe, she is the product of that institutions, and that is the institution you can see. And exactly this is the institution, and that institution is one of the A1 institutions under ICR, and it was got most appreciate. And that name also I have given in the Bangalore-based type, because Bangalore is the ITBT hubs. So I have also given the informatics name, and that name was very much appreciated. And now that institution became a nickname for that. Next, please. That another success that is also through my students, through my scientists, that we have applied for 7 patents, and we got already 3. One of my student working on the Salmonella vaccine, that we got the first these. Another 2 vaccines, as I mentioned, there was a big project on brucellosis. I was the program coordinator, and Dr. Rajeshwari Shom, she was my, you can say, right hand in that project from Nivedi, and we also submitted several the patent, and we already got 2, and we are waiting for that another this. Next, please. This is again another the quiz for my students, particularly genetically modified animals. are always bigger than ordinary animals. This is also same type of survey conducted by the group, and they want to see the perception or knowledge about the that is also genetically, that was the fruits and that is the animals, that type of things. And this is also a quiz for the students, how much you know about that animal, this genetically modified organism. Next, please. This is, I want to just in not telling my students, but it is for all, because as you know that population of India is growing and it is 1.35 billion. At the same time, agriculture land and everything is coming down. That's why we have to produce more from less for more. You can see the population, and most of the uh, things. India is a food surplus country. Even then, there is a lot of deficiency in animal produce. That's why there is a lot of scope for animal science in the country. And Niti Aayog has already mentioned that by 2030, the Indian or agriculture economy will based on the livestock sector. Next, please. Just I want to show you here the position global hunger index. India's position is 94 among the 107 countries. If you can see, that is the much below the Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal even. But we have a huge food 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 producers in the country. In 2020, that 70 million food grains are also in the country, that ensure to nobody went hungry. Then why this is happening? Because of the inequality. Because some people are getting huge, some people are getting nothing. That's why. And as another thing, just I want to mention here, the world's largest malnourished people also live in India. When we say malnourished, they are getting nutrition, but they are not food they are getting, but they are not getting the nutrients. That's why we called India is food surplus, uh, food secured, but we are not nutrition secured. Just you can see here milk. As per the recommended government of India, we need to have at least 280. This is the minimum recommended, 280 ml per day. But we are already getting 395 ml. If you see the global world, it is 250, but that means we are much ahead of the world average. But if you can see the developed country, much below, half of that only. Then that I want to mention here. But the milk also, it is not uniformly taken by the country. People, if you go to Punjab, Haryana, they are getting at least 1 liter milk per day. If you come to Assam, they are getting only 69 ml. That means some people are totally deprived and some people are getting much more. Another critical thing is the meat. We need to have at least meat. Those are veterinarian, non-vegetarian. They should have 11 kg, but we are getting only 5.9. That means about 6 kg. And deficiency, you can imagine, this world average is 41, and developed countries. We leave it till developed country, even then other countries, this world average. The egg production is also similarly recommended. Egg, we have to have at least 182 eggs per year, but we are getting only 81. And world average is 130, even the developed country 168. That means we are not even getting the 50% what is recommended by the government of India, particularly meat and milk. And for your information, the first 1,000 days of a newborn, we should provide at least the nutrient that is coming from the animal source food we call, if they are not vegetarian. But milk is also animal source food, but particularly in North India, they are taking a lot of milk and they are replacing with meat and egg. But in South India, Northeast India, and other parts, a lot of meat consuming people, egg consuming people, non vegetarian people are also there. That is, we have to think over that how we can improve. That is only through the animal production. The global hunger index, how they are uh, making the decision, this is which country. Malnourished population, then the stunted population, and the wasting population, and the mortality rate of children under 5 years. These are the four conditions, and they are making index. That means we are 94 means this four condition is much prevalent in the country, and government of India, government, state government are giving much emphasis on the animal production because animal protein is the best protein. Some of the proteins, amino acids, which is not available in pulses or rice and other things that is available from animal source food. That is that's to ignite you the how the we have to move to remove the hunger index in the country. Next, please. Thank you very much. I don't think I have taken much more time, I think, but as Dr. Megha told that we have to get some questions from the participants or the students. Now it's students are welcome for asking any questions. And at the same time, again, I thank the organizer, particularly Megha, for giving this opportunity to discuss myself, my some issues, particularly for the students, and we should not be disheartened. Many times we have to face some difficulties and we have to feel that. But for your information, I was never a failure, whatever the work I have taken, because I used to take the work at Nibedi in other places as a teamwork. I used to, Swati is there, she can also tell you how I used to work. And this I recruited about 65 RHRF in my institutions, and most of them are only seven were boys, and all are female, and they were my particular the lifeline of that institutions, and they helped me to develop or build that institution to international level. Thank you. And any questions, Mega?
Um,
Hello.
so, yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, this is Dr. Swati Sai, sir, your student, sir.
Yeah,
Hello.
please. Please
Yeah,
tell.
sir. First of all, sir, thank you so much for giving such a motivative speech, sir. And thank you for coming and giving a speech in just a very short period of time, sir. So literally, I feel, see, after your talk, like it is like, again, more and more to do in microbiology. I again became a student, and as I am always your student, sir, listening your presentation, listening your all about your research again in microbiology, it was really inspiring for me also. Being working with you for such a long time, 8 years I was with you, and still I am connected with you, sir. But still, it is very motivating for me, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for coming, sir, here and giving a speech. And again, you motivated all female student of here, sir, as you always do in Nivedi, sir.
No, because many times people are saying that sir has a daughter. So
Yes, sir.
it is not that because I also giving because we want to have the
Really,
gender
sir,
bias.
personally, it was very much motivating for me in this part of my life when I completed my PhD and shifting to professional life to do more in research in microbiology and bacteria, sir. It is really helpful for me. And
Thank you.
if any students wants to ask question, because sir is very pioneer scientist and leader, he is a very good leader in veterinary microbiology. Please go ahead and ask, because he is very good in leadership and research. Please go ahead and ask in veterinary microbiology any questions.
Not veterinary microbiology, anything related to
Yes, sir.
microbiology or medical sciences or
Yes,
anything.
sir.
Because basically, I did my work on salmonella. You might be knowing salmonella name
Yes, sir.
itself is a veterinary microbiologist.
I
Edward
remember,
Sal.
sir, how you motivated me when I was depressed and my pastoral and multicida culture was not coming. The story you told about mycoplasma, and you
That
motivated me by giving the certain chocolates and all. So with
because
hard
while
work, हाँ sir,
I
बोलिए
was
sir.
because I was director of the institution, I was so busy, and we are constructing that building and working with so many international organizations. And Swati come to my room, sir. I'm success. I got
I
that
got six pastoral and multicida culture that
patch
time,
of months.
and you, yes sir,
I used to keep
and
my chocolates in my table. Then immediately I offered one because I used to encourage particularly because
yes
many
sir,
times people are saying that sir has a daughter. So she is.
yes
It
sir,
is not like that. I used to give male students also. Those are very good, and I used to motivate all those people because everybody has something.
yes sir,
If you motivate them, they will definitely come up. And particularly your case and PhD students, how
yes sir.
I
I am your student always.
fight with the administration, particularly at the headquarter,
Yes
that
sir,
fellowship, that you have to pay these things, no? Because I know that that was wrong thing they implemented, but ultimately our intervention and DG has agreed that students should not pay the fees, etc. That
yes
was
sir.
my thing.
Sir, with hard work and perseverance, the motivation from the leader, motivation from the guide is also important that you have given us. That was like, I really want, at this platform, I want to thank you, sir. Thank you for giving such a motivational speech now.
I'm
Thank you so
also
much, sir.
very thankful to the organization, particularly BIIS,
Yes,
that
sir.
Mega, no, that they have selected you, and she is always com- the frontline worker who is to tell that Swati, Sushweta, no, those the students particularly, no, that
Yes, sir.
because anybody anything about me also you can ask. Otherwise, I if, because basically I was a teacher, I have many things to ask, but the time is very short, and if you